And YESWELDER definitely under-promised and over-delivered on this one. So what we're looking at is the Firstis DP200, which this stands for a dual pulse MIG welder 200 amp. So this thing is solid right here. Are you ready to step up your welding game and weld like a pro? YESWELDER has introduced their Firstis multi-process welder. Let's look at some details. I'm super stoked to get some time on this welder here. So what we're doing is on the initial unboxing, just going over it here, then we'll follow back up and we'll jump into the settings on it. So this new design is a very durable design. We've got a 7-inch LCD screen on it, 3-minute quick startup, dual voltage 110, 220 with a 200 amp welder here. So this is their Firstis DP200. So some of the details on it shows an automated fan regulation. You've got smart welding settings on it. It's portable, versatile, as well as you can upgrade the software on that. So that's a pretty nice little display set up on it. And what we're looking at is being with the option for a MIG, a MAG, flux cord, TIG, stick, and you've got more advanced settings on it, especially with the dual color display on that. You can use it with the white or the black on it. So let's get into more details on this right here. So this right here is capable of running all of these options here, as well as a spool gun, TIG torch, as well as the foot pedal. So what I'll do is I'll add it in the description or the link down below on a way that you can find more details on this, as well as the compatible items here. So let's get into this. This right here is a dual pulse MIG here, and this is capable of aluminum welding, and this right here is a dual voltage. So you got a 110 and a 220 option on this right here. But this thing is sweet as can be, and it's got some mass to it also. Look at that. Firstis dual purpose MIG welder coming from YESWELDER. Bam, look at that design on it. And this right here has a pretty nice detailed duty cycle on it, and it supports all the different options here. So let's get more into this. Of course, YESWELDER sends you a goodie box. Pretty packed kit here. So inside the box, you'll get a couple of spools of wire, and this will be for flux as well as for solid. Now, you've got a pretty decent ground on it. You've got your gas hose that'll come with it. You've got your detailed instructions. That's not part of it. You've got your stinger for the stick, your adapter for the 220 to 110 setup, and you've also got the MIG gun. You also get 3 different wheels. You may have one on the inside of it with different knurls on it for the different diameter sizes. So let's get into the machine. And this welder is nothing shy of a beast. And YESWELDER definitely under-promised and over-delivered on this one. So what we're looking at is the Firstis DP200, which this stands for a dual pulse MIG welder 200 amp. So this thing is solid right here. And I really like that it's a multiprocessor as well as many different options and functions on it. But that display on it, check that out. That's clean. Now you move over here on the back side of it, you can see we've got a clean detailed duty cycle on it. You've got your MIG gas inlet, you've got a fan operated, and you got your power switch here. So we hit the little switch, little delay on it, kicks on. 7-inch LCD display screen on it, multi-processor, and this is for your thin, ultra thin material as well as aluminum. So to know that you've got all these fancy displays on it, and you can run this with, white or black background on it. So when it comes to changing the parameters within the categories, you'd use the center knob to scroll over, having it hover over the one that you're looking to change. Press the button, that opens it up where you can change the different material type. Now to move out of it, press the button. We can go over here to the gas percentage, change that percentage, move over to our wire diameter size, change that. We can move over to the different thickness that we're looking to weld onto. So we can also change the 2T to 4T. We've got our memory settings here. We can also move down to the MIG gun to change that to the spool gun. Everything's digital. This is super nice. Change your gas type, your pulse. We can move over, change the advanced setting on it. And this is going to give us our pre-flow, the post flow, the burn back. We can change all that within these parameters here. Again, move it back out of it. And we even have a help mode that we can press that'll help walk us through some of the things that we're struggling on. But there's always going to be that support, and not to mention the 3-year warranty on this thing. This thing is a super sweet setup. So again, if you're looking to find more details on the welder, the TIG torch, which is sold separately, as well as the 5-pin foot pedal sold separately, and the spool gun sold separately to be able to weld, you know, on the spool as well as aluminum. But this is one solid setup here, guys. So with the initial investment with it, as well as the supporting, you know, tools, you've got basically everything that you need, that you can handle pretty much anything that most common users would use, from the flux all the way to the spool gun. So this is one of those, you buy once, you cry once. Hey, it's on the market. Check it out, guys. You will not be disappointed in it. And I know there's financing options available. Don't put yourself in harm's way, but if your coin's not right and timing, hey, you can finance it as well. But, you know, ultimately save up. But this right here is a nice welder, no matter if you're entry level or full on, full time. So this right here, unboxing it today just to get more friendly with it, and then we're going to dive into some of the details on it and try out some of the functions. But this thing is pretty clean, especially with that display, big 7-inch screen on it. Pretty solid here. So I'm definitely digging it. So if you want to find more details on the welder itself, the DP200, or the TIG torch, or the 5-pin foot pedal for it, as well as a spool gun, and known as has the option for aluminum welding too, with the everything that you receive on the very beginning. So pretty much out the box in a very short amount of time, you can be welding with flux, and then go back and upgrade, add your wire, add your gas, you know, so that way you can really step up and get into what you want to. But this right here is a great level, and this is something, if you want to find more on it, this is new. Check it out, guys. You won't be disappointed in it. So let's follow up with part 2.